Welcome to Encountering Christ, a podcast about meeting Jesus in the ordinary moments of life, learning how to invite others into those encounters, and exploring practical ways to recognize Jesus at work in our daily rhythms. Our prayer is that this time helps you see and share Christ more clearly. Today we look at the final attribute of God, beauty. The beauty of God is not so much a description of how God looks. It is more a description of who God is. Now just take a moment and think about that piece of art or that sunrise or sunset. Think about something that you would say, that is beautiful. For our purposes here, let's picture a sunset over Lake Granbury. Picture it with just enough clouds to paint the night sky. And picture that the sun only has a third of itself sticking up over the horizon. I tell you, if there's one thing Granbury is known for, it is beautiful sunsets. Now here's my question. Is the beauty of a sunset found merely in what it looks like, or is it found in how it makes you feel? And that is a great question. For me, and I think for all of us, beauty is more felt than seen. Beauty is sensed. Now think about a great work of art, Van Gogh's Starry Night, for example. What is it that makes this so beautiful to so many millions of people? It's a perfect example of the beauty of art. It's how it makes you feel that makes it beautiful. It certainly isn't the accuracy of the night sky. No, the same is true of the Mona Lisa. It is what you sense that makes it beautiful. It's the desire you have to know what she's thinking. You can almost feel what's going on the inside. In the same way, if you understand architecture, it has a message in the manner in which it's built, and that message is felt more than it is seen. Francis Schaeffer, the author of How Should We Then Live, he wrote this. He said, "There is a flow to history and culture. This flow is rooted and has its wellspring in the thoughts of people. People are unique in the inner life of the mind. What they are in their thought world determines how they act. The results of their thought world flow through their fingers or from their tongues into the external world." And I think Schaeffer's point is that as humans, we produce according to what resides in our souls. If our souls are angry or dominating, then we will produce that in our lives. Successful artists and architects will produce things according to what is in their soul. I remember many years back, someone, in the name of art, put a crucifix of Jesus into a jar of urine. And I don't know exactly what was in that person's soul, but I would not describe it as beautiful. More likely angry or defiant. See, that's what art does. Not all art is meant to be beautiful, but we do tend to like those things that provide beauty. And I hope you see what I'm saying. Beauty is something that comes out of something that is good, and it's something that we feel. Now just take a moment to think about the things that your life produces. If your life makes what we would call an impression, what impression does your life provide? If you were to produce a work of art that demonstrated who you are and how you feel, what would that work of art be? You see, there is a difference between attractiveness and beauty. And if you're understanding what I mean by that, you'll know that I mean that there are people in the world that might be called beautiful, but what we mean is attractive, and there is a difference. When we speak of God being beautiful, I don't think we're talking about being attractive. Certainly, as Isaiah 53 says, when we beheld Jesus, he had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. And that is specifically speaking of a physical attractiveness. Now, when we're speaking of God's beauty, I don't think we're speaking of attractiveness, rather that God is beautiful. Who he is so good, so perfect, that we sense something incredibly special about him. We sense his beauty. And it is in this sense that God's beauty is what we are calling a summary attribute. In other words, when you take all of who God is, love, joy, peace, hope, goodness, patience, and kindness, and all powerful, all knowing, ever present, when you take the fullness of who God is and see him, he is beautiful. He is inspiring. It is something that you sense. Not only that, when you look at the creation God provided us, from sunrises and sunsets to mountains and streams and lakes and trees and flowers, when you look at the animals and birds and fish and the intricate details and on, God's creation is beautiful. What he has made is pure beauty. But what we have made, as mankind seeks to build his own life in utopia, what we produce without him is not beautiful. You see, when sin entered the world, so did many things in this world that are not beautiful. Simply put, we desire beauty and despise that which is ugly. And God is beauty. Yet our problem is that we fail to see it. Solomon, in his wisdom from God, said it perfectly. It's Ecclesiastes 3:11. He said, God, has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the hearts of men, yet they cannot fathom what God has done from beginning to end. Now, this is what I've been talking about from the beginning. We see the sunset and yet struggle to see God in it. We see beauty all around us, but we struggle to see God's hand in it. And it is because of our world focus. We get enamored with how beauty makes us feel and fail to see that it is God who makes things beautiful. And why? Because God is beauty. And so as you go about your life, consider not just what is beautiful, but why is something beautiful. And then consider and pray through who is the source of that beauty. And it is in this way that you will begin to see the beauty of God. Can you imagine what it will be like when our sin is stripped away and we will be able to see God without any hindrance? The feeling of beauty will be off the charts, and we will all proclaim together, God is beautiful. But why wait? See God's beauty today, the best you can. Feel God's beauty, and you will proclaim the truth that God is beautiful.